today's conversation, which I'm very excited about, because we're speaking to the founder of Popsicles Nails, Anil Bhogayata.
You may not see it now. You may be aware that things are about to change quite dramatically in terms of the trajectory of the business. And one of the things that I go back to, because it's also with small entrepreneurs when they're starting off, or I'm thinking of myself in that situation, is going physically and knocking door to door.
Time is an agent that destroys everything. So if you think about it, we're just living in an illusion where time will eventually kill everything.
Why don't we just bring the products along and let's try it out in this market?
Yeah.
Let's see how people are going to respond to it. And then we can kind of take it from there. Sometimes we get so stuck on the original idea that then we end up being paralyzed there. But just trying something new also gives you different ideas, and it takes you to the next step and then the next step. Hi there, monetizers. Welcome to Monetize Your Business podcast conversations in partnership with FNB. This is the podcast to come to for entrepreneurial conversations that are relatable and on the ground. Also to hear expert insights that are going to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. But you know how we do over here. I'm not flying this plane on my own. I do have my very trusted co-pilot with me. Papa Biz, how are you?
I'm excellent, and I'm looking forward specifically to this conversation. We have somebody in common, one of our mentors, Ian, first, so I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Absolutely. And before we get into that conversation, any interesting things that are happening in the world of entrepreneurship that you'd like to share with us?
You know, it was astounding to me just how business people, like real business people, they're not afraid to talk numbers.
Yes.
They're really not afraid to talk numbers and revenues. I was in a meeting with a business person that I respect a lot, and he was asking me about our revenue targets and goals for the year. And he shared about his where, one of his businesses had not been doing as well. And he felt really glad that about 2 years ago, he invested 4 million rand with a very young entrepreneur who came to him with a solid plan. And he liked the guy, and he took him on board, and he invested 4 million with this guy. And now that business, in the first 12 months, it turned over 35 million.
Incredible. And
he says now with this next 12 months, when they wrap things up, they should have turned over another 100 million.
Sure.
And the candidacy with which he just spoke about this, I was thinking, when he was asking me, I thought he was trying to figure out my salary. He doesn't care. I mean, it's just business people talking amongst each other. And it just reminded me about that when I saw, just not to take it so personal.
Yes.
You're discussing a business.
Yes.
And turnover is not profit.
Yes.
So it just gives an idea in terms of scalability of the business, potential, where the business can be able to move forward to. So that was something interesting that I found, as well as, him investing this 4 million in this youngster.
Yeah, I think that's so important, because actually we do need to normalize the money conversation.
Yeah.
How are we going to make more money if we don't talk about money?
Yeah.
And we don't talk about, where the leakages are, where the glass ceilings may be, and how to actually grow. And even just to make ourselves investor and funding ready, knowing the numbers are so important.
No, 100%. And the thing that I even ended off, and I asked him, what made you decide to give this young guy the 4 million for this business? And his response was, I should have expected it. He said, I know that boy, he knew how to pitch. I know that boy knew how to pitch. And he just left me with a feeling that it's such a small investment and we're going to make so much more money together. And I thought, well, spot on.
Yes.
Because whenever we do workshops, we spend a lot of time teaching entrepreneurs how to pitch, and we let them know all the time, this is a very important skill that you will continue using, just like for this workshop.
Yes.
You need to learn and know how to pitch so that when the opportunity comes, there it is.
Yes, absolutely. And this actually brings me to today's conversation, which I'm very excited about, because we're speaking to the founder of Popsicles Nails, Anil Bhogayata. And I'm really excited about this because we are also looking at a business that is growing, that is going to be franchising in future. And that also, once again, speaks to expansion, normalizing the money conversation, etc. So I think that's really, really exciting. Anil, welcome to this conversation.
Thanks, Etty. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Pops.
It's good to
Thank you so much.
have you here.
Thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Wonderful. We were just chatting a little bit with Papa about normalizing the money conversation. What's your take on that?
Is there any way to normalize money? So my take on it would be, I think cash flow is king in any business. And I think as you were talking about, as business owners, they talk about numbers, revenue. I think revenue and cash flow, if you have those two elements as your key metric, then I would say that would be normalizing money from a business sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
It washes away all sins.
Yes.
I have a lot of those.
Absolutely. So let's get into it, because I'm very, very interested to hear a little bit more about your business. Tell us about Popsicle Nails.
Where do I start? So let's start. So firstly, I'm not the founder of the business. My wife is, Anil Bhogayata. She started the brand in 2018.
Okay.
As a young entrepreneur, she enjoyed doing her nails. And then she's seen a product online which she thought would be quite interesting to bring into South Africa.
Okay.
And so as a young entrepreneur, she brought the product in with a small investment from her dad, filled it in jars, and then opened an online store, and then Popsicle started. And over the next few years, her online presence slowly grew. And she then fully focused on Popsicle.
Okay.
And then we met in 2021, and in 2022 we got married, and thereafter I had an opportunity to work in Saudi Arabia. And so as we were going, I told her, take your products there.
Yes.
And let's see what happens. You never know what happens.
Could be an interest.
There could be an interest. And so she handed it out to salons, and by my surprise, salons really liked her product.
Really?
Yeah, and she was competing against international brands, but the way she designed the product and the functionality of it was really appealing to salon owners and nail techs.
Was the salon owners in South Africa or in Saudi or?
They were from Saudi, so they were localized, so they were local salon owners. And they really took onto the product. So then I asked her, I said, what's stopping you from scaling this business? What's stopping you from becoming the next L'Oreal or something like that? And she gave it a thought overnight, and we discussed it. And to move forward, 3 weeks later, I resigned to take on the brand.
Sure.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite a leap of faith.
Yeah, I wanted to do something different. I thought I had my dream job, by the way, in Saudi. But I think I came through, and I was experiencing something called existential crisis, where I wanted to do something larger than life.
Okay.
And just before that, I heard a monk tell me that time is an agent that destroys everything. So if you think about it, we're just living in an illusion where time will eventually kill everything. And if I thought about it, I was like, I'm wasting my time if I don't pursue something larger than life.
Yes.
So taking a massive risk, I literally resigned.
Sure.
We came back to South Africa, and we said we're ready to scale this business. And the business was the business plan, and we all know how Excel spreadsheets look, and when it starts off, how that unfolds.
Yes.
Nothing was like. And we got ourselves in a deep hole, and eventually we found an investor, and then we took it from there. So the original business model was that, so we kept the online store,
Okay.
and we thought that we would sell products because we are a product development company.
Yes.
We would sell products to other salons and other spas.
Okay.
Okay, like a B2B.
Like a B2B. And that's what was the business model was built on. That it was a B2B business. And a year later, we were supplying close to 400 salons.
What?
From zero, yeah.
That's incredible.
But we kept hitting a ceiling. And we quickly realized that the destiny is not in our hands. It's actually in the hands of the salon, depending on how well they do.
Yes.
How well they do, how well they market you.
How well they market themselves to get in to bring in the end user.
Yeah.
So we were supplying 400 salons, but there was a massive ceiling. And then we needed to pivot, but we didn't know exactly what that entailed. Fortunately enough, we were supplying Sandy Fur. She's the owner of BTI, the Beauty Therapy Institute.
Okay.
It's a group of schools in South Africa, beauty schools. Yeah. So we used to supply them with product. And through her, we met Ian.
Okay.
Yes. Ian, for the original founder of Sobe.
Yeah.
Yes.
The guru.
Yes.
And he runs a consulting business called Hatch Institute.
Yes, Hatch.
Yes.
Yeah. So I asked him, I said, Ian, we've done this business. Please, can you come to our office and just let's see what we can, please direct me. So he came and our office literally looks like Candyland. Like it was built that way. So it was built that way so even if I know nothing about nails, if you walk in there, you think like you'd be sold. Like you'd be sold. So he came in and he says, so we kind of presented the business model to him of what we're doing and where we're at. We have a very lean distribution model as well. So so all of those boxes were ticked.
Yeah.
And he's like, whatever you're doing, you're acting as a franchisor already. So why not have the front end?
Yes. Yes.
So he planted the seed, and now I know nothing about franchising. I know nothing about running a salon. Although we supply salons, so we understand some of their pain points.
Yes.
But being there is very different.
It's different, yeah.
So I asked him, would he like to partner? And couple of months later, he's a partner in the front end of the business, and we've opened up 2 salons.
That's amazing. Look at that, eh? Sheesh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now, before it's sounding great, and that's how we got to meet you. Take me a bit further back. Like, what's your background? What did you study?
Sure. So I studied finance, and then I did an MBA. In that time, I also worked for CanSmart. It's a can manufacturing company.
Okay.
And the CEO or the shareholder of that, or who was a CEO and shareholder of that business, is a current investor in our business.
Oh wow!
So I've done a lot of learning in the manufacturing space before I went to Saudi in the private equity space.
Okay. And when you look back, because you said, your girlfriend at the time, she was the one who had started the business first, and then you guys met and got married. If you look back, it's obviously quite a leap of faith to now go full time into a business that's still growing. And you spoke about the conversation you had with this monk. But if you had to look back, where do you think you got the potential to run a business or the entrepreneurial spirit? Where do you think that might have come from?
So I grew up with a single mom. So I think being raised with a single mom and not coming from any money or not coming from, that was normality for us. So buying and selling was always my thing. So I always had that. Like there were in school, or just out of school, I used to come up with sweets and chocolates and get it wrapped differently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Before Checker 60 happened, we had a business called Grocery on the Go. I kind of made up.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So I kind of did quite a few things in my life to kind of always, I think it has led me to this point. And as Steve Jobs says, if you connect the dots backwards, it makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense, eh? And when you looked at it, what gave you comfort to get involved in the business and to look to partake into it more seriously, because it's quite intimidating. A man in a beauty industry.
In a beauty industry, yeah.
Actually, I didn't give it much thought initially. To be honest, I didn't give it much thought. So I thought that when we came back to South Africa, we built the showroom. We've spent a lot on working capital. So from 60 SKU, we quickly went to 360 SKUs.
Sure.
So
SKUs like different colors,
different product ranges. So I wanted to give the salon a full experience. Now I'm thinking, okay, this will sell online. It will just move like that. And I assume that I'll just contact everyone on our customer base online and then tell them this is the new version. And it didn't work out that way. Now I had to go on the road and go to salon to sell.
Yes.
Because I didn't have a rep or anything like that at that point in time. Now I know nothing about nails. So Trisha scripted me something. And then I went verbatim and I kind of got into it and kind of went to go and sell to all the salons. And that's when it hit me that I'm actually a man in a woman's world.
Yes.
And funny enough, they were actually more receptive to me and then later we had other reps in the business. They were more receptive to me than certain ladies.
Oh,
wow.
Interesting.
So and because maybe it's my naivety that kind of attracted me to, that attracted them to Popsicle. And then obviously the technical side of the question, that our trainers and that take over from there.
Okay.
But it was so initially I didn't give it much thought. And as I went into it, meeting customers and meeting salon owners, it hit me. I was like, I'm in a very different world. I'm in a very different world. And sorry, on that, it was also, at one point, I was the only man in our office.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I've never led a team full of females. So it was always a mix. And so it's difficult. It's been difficult.
It's very difficult. It's very different. Yes. It's very different.
It's different. Yeah. Especially if you're not exposed to it.
Yes.
It requires a different type of management style. Yeah.
Tell me something, because you mentioned the 2 stores that you recently opened. Are those franchises or are those like standalone stores?
Sure. So the current 2 stores, which is in Bedford Center and Four Ways Mall, are corporate owned.
Okay.
So
right.
So it's so we built the model in such a way that we'll own the first 2-3 stores, and thereafter we'll be ready to franchise. I think we've done very well in the first month and a half that we have opened the store. From a system perspective, cultureneering, Ian has drawn up a really good culture program.
He's very big on culture,
and that's what the name of the game is, especially from a service-based business.
Yes,
culture is everything. And there's a few things that we've done differently into the store. So our whole purpose is free to be me, where you basically disconnect from the world to connect within, and that's what the store resembles. So we've kind of integrated AI and AR to personalize the service of a client, and not just leave it in the hands of the nail tech or the staff. Because if you think about it, if you take a nail tech, let's say Anil, for example, Anil at 9 o'clock in the morning is very different to Anil at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So the service that you will receive from Anil at 9 a.m. might be very different. Not from a technical point of view, but from a conversation, from a human energy. So we now gonna AI and AR this entire experience, not and keep it consistent in terms of the experience that you receive.
Sure. And I love that, because it's also just leveraging technology to take the business to the next level. And do you feel that this is important within business, especially when you are in such a competitive environment? I mean, the beauty industry is highly competitive. Do you feel that introducing AI is going to give you a competitive advantage as well?
I think so. AI and has taken over the world
Yes.
in certain senses.
Yes.
It's how you utilize it, and it's how you use that to better the experience, not only for customers but internally as well. If it can make you efficient, effective, and it can allow data to kind of give you direction of where you need to be, then I think it can be used. Yeah, it can really benefit you.
Yes.
And the world is moving towards that way. So it's best to jump on the wagon now and get a firm understanding of where you fit in that space.
Yes.
And that's kind of what we've done. So I'll give you an example of what we're trying to do. So we're coming out with something called Popsicle TV.
Oh, okay.
So you'll come in there. It will say, well, you'll sign on Popsicle TV on our iPads.
Yeah.
And once you sign on, it will say, welcome back, Hetty. How are you feeling today? Based on how you're feeling, it will suggest a few curated content which you could listen to while you're doing your treatment with headphones. So it's all about disconnecting to connect within. So meditational therapy.
Okay.
I love that.
Certain level podcasts.
Yes.
So yeah, it's going to be very specific content.
Yes.
Yeah.
And very intentional. I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm always on a practical level because, I mean, in our previous journey, we had retail stores throughout South Africa. That's actually how we got to meet Ian Furr. He was a mentor of ours. He even was so generous to allow our staff to get trained by the Sorbet group. And I mean, of course, he was big on culture and the customer experience. And I mean, outside of that, what I'm thinking is that for entrepreneur as they're looking to grow, for somebody to, in the middle phase of growing this business, to go from supplying 1 to 400 stores, that's a huge leap. What were some of the things that you were focusing on at the time to be able to get so many different stores to stock your products?
Understanding the market, understanding the position of the brand. So we not the low LSM brand, nor are we not the high LSM. We're kind of in the mid-range.
In the middle.
And once you understand where you fit in and how big the size of the prize is or how big the pool is, from there it's just about dissect. But once you understand what to do, then it's just about how you're going to do it.
Yes.
And so I've also made a lot of mistakes along the way. For me to hire 400 for me to supply 400 salons, like I'm not good in hiring. Like I've realized that, like I've made some bad mistakes along the way, which I've learned a lot from. So once we understand what needs to be done, it's just about how and kind of.
And I think you mentioned as well that you'd actually go and knock on quite a lot of doors to be able to. Was that nerve-wracking for you in the beginning? Because I mean, and nobody likes to be rejected, especially guys who've done MBA. I mean, that's not what we built for.
Sure. So after the first 5 or 10 stores, you were like, "Am I really going to be doing this? Like driving around, going to salons, being rejected? Like, did I resign to do this? And now I'm stuck in it." But once you kind of gather your thoughts and you kind of understand why you're doing it and what's the bigger picture, it kind of makes sense.
Okay.
And you learn a lot of ground level skills.
Okay.
Which is very important to build a business.
100%.
Like
yes.
you need to understand the ground level of how to interact with a customer. I tell Trisha and I tell the team, if we started off as opening the franchise model first, I don't think we would be where we are today.
Yes.
So I think by the grace of Lord, this has been the stepping stone of what has to be done. At each step, which has led us to this point.
How do you approach acquiring knowledge as an entrepreneur? Because I know some entrepreneurs love reading books, others enjoy podcasts, others attend seminars, conferences, or just chat to other entrepreneurs. Because I do feel that when building a business, especially when you're trying to just bring your vision to light, it's always nice to be able to plug into sources of knowledge and information that can keep you on top of your game.
I think all of the above. So a monk once a monk once said, if you take a circle and if you take 15% of that circle, it's information you know that you know, right? If you take 35%, the next pie, so 35% of that circle, it's information you know you don't know. And the balance of the circle, or the balance of the pie, is information you don't know you don't know. So if you have to keep reading, you have to keep engaging in the forums that you've mentioned.
Yes.
It's important to have mentors, and it's important to have these coaches. Every business and every problem that has occurred in businesses has been solved by someone.
True.
And it's in some book.
100%. Yeah, you're not the first one experiencing it.
So I have learned a lot to navigate to certain problems just by reading.
Yes.
If you just apply it practically to yourself, I promise you it makes a lot of sense. And sometimes just a sentence or two, a thought or two in the book, it can go a long way.
Goes a long way, yeah.
So reading, 100%. Attending seminars, watching these type of podcasts, 100%. Having a coach or mentor, people who have done it, people who have scaled, people who have got to the other side of the river. Yeah, I think it's all three are vital.
Yes, 100%.
I want to check. I mean, it's been quite a journey, and it feels like we're at a cusp where things are about to change for you guys quite dramatically. And when you're looking back, because you've spoken about different mistakes that have happened along the way and so on, if you had to start over, and it's like a young entrepreneur is listening in terms of mistakes to avoid, what type of mistakes would you have changed to have avoided if you look back?
I don't think mistakes are unavoidable. I think the pain of uncomfortability, I think it's bearable, but the pain of regret is unbearable.
That's a good one, yeah.
So I think mistakes, in a sense, you can only understand what mistakes you make once you in it.
So let me take it like this. I mean, you mentioned previously things like hiring people.
Yeah.
There were certain things where when you look back, okay, cool, it's a mistake now, and you've learned from it, and cool, great.
Yeah.
What are the type of things that you picked up in terms of hiring people that you could maybe like share for the entrepreneurs that are listening, or anything else where you look back as like, okay, I went through it, I learned a lot, I'm glad that I went through it, but also, just sharing information and knowledge.
I was thinking about it this morning, actually, about just that. Hire for the need, not how smart or not smart this person is. So if you believe this person is really good, and I'm just going to fit this person in here, and then you will mold this person into something else, hire for the need.
Yes.
No matter if it must match the need. I think that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned. I've also learned that, so I made a mistake I share my vision when I hire, and I say, this is where I would like to be. But people take it in their own time frame. So in 6 months' time, if it doesn't realize, they quickly tell you, but you sold me the dream. And so I've learned to reel it a bit in and understand the audience a bit better, not just happily share the vision. And it's not a bad thing, but you just have to understand time, place, and circumstance to do that. So those are two massive lessons. In my career, I think there's been only 1 or 2 examples where I've actually hired a female. So I've had to learn in terms of the EQ levels of a female and a male, and how they would fit into the team.
Oh, wow.
Culture. So culture fit is 80%
very important
of the hire. 20% you can that 20% of competency and skill, you can train that.
Yes.
Yes. In our business, even in specialist skills, if they have the ground level of it and they have a high level of culture fit, then that's a go to. Yeah.
Cool. Powerful.
Sure, that's very, very powerful. I've really taken quite a lot from today's conversation. I think for me, one of the biggest things that I've taken is just also having the ability to explore new things. I love when you said, to Trisha, why don't we just bring the products along and let's try it out in this market?
Yeah.
Let's see how people are going to respond to it. And then we can kind of take it from there. Sometimes we get so stuck on the original idea that then we end up being paralyzed there. But just trying something new also gives you different ideas, and it takes you to the next step and then the next step. So that for me has been quite a big takeaway. Just having that bravery to try new things with your product, because then eventually you follow the breadcrumbs and it leads you into the right direction.
No.
And what about yourself, Papa?
It's a very inspiring story, and I truly mean it in terms of you may not see it now. You may be aware that things are about to change quite dramatically in terms of the trajectory of the business. And one of the things that I go back to, because it's also with small entrepreneurs when they're starting off, or I'm thinking of myself in that situation, is going physically and knocking door to door.
Sure.
So not everybody's prepared to do it, like doing the hard yards, going, knocking door to door, taking in that rejection, but on the ground understanding, what does this market need? What actually speaks to this market? Okay, cool. I'm a guy in this industry, learning to speak the language and learning, okay, this is how we're going to move this forward. Cool. In future, great. There's a whole team and so on, but you were there. You were there doing the hard yards, you and your wife as well. And it's very inspiring in terms of the type of work that one can take. And of course, now transitioning into a different model, because business plans are written on paper. And as you're there on the ground, you realize, we need to pivot a little bit here. And also, I really commend, it's really powerful, the ability to utilize one's network to be able to grow in different steps. Because people really sometimes they underestimate the power of a network. And you spoke about your first big investor that came through, but that was through your corporate career. And then now to be able to partner up with somebody like Ian Fur, who's the founder of Sorbet. I mean, that's incredible, but that comes through from, understanding the power of a network and just taking a leap of faith. So I've really enjoyed this. And I wish you guys all the best. I'm going to be looking at this journey continuing. We'll be watching and rooting from the sidelines, but we're very excited for you guys.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Tell me, if anyone wants to get in touch and wants to, explore the products a little bit more, even visit these newly launched stores, how do they go about that?
Sure. So you can visit our website, www.popsiclenails.com. Or you can visit the actual stores, which is at Bedford Center and Four Ways Mall. And we're opening one in the next month and a half at Greenstone Mall.
Wow.
And I'm happy to share my email address for anyone who wants to be a franchise partner or wants to collaborate. It's Anil, ANIL, at Popsicle Nails, POPSICLENAILS.co.za.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that, and we'll certainly be popping in. That's for sure. Monetizers, that brings us to the end of today's highly inspiring conversation. Please do leave your comments down below. Tell us any aha moments that you had, what stood out for you the most, and we'll be sure to continue the conversation in the comment section. Please don't forget to plug into all of our social media platforms. It's at Monetize Your Business. This is going to give you an opportunity to see where our next workshops are going to be, as well as our online masterclasses as well. Until the next episode.